listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
There was this one time I went snorkeling in the Caribbean when I was a kid. It really just blew my mind. We saw the most beautiful corals. I remember thinking they were waving at us as they moved with the ocean. And then there were all these amazing fish. I'll never forget it. It completely changed the way I look at the ocean.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
Okay, you're on. All right, folks, this is Thunder Thursday. We're here, man. We're here.
Yeah.
Who are you, Rev?
Reverend Donald Mapes.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. This is Tony Marmo, and we're broadcasting live from 16 Lucas Avenue.
Yeah.
Beautiful downtown Kingston. A little dark today, but I think the light is coming.
Yeah, there you go. It's much warmer, too.
41 degrees today. 41 degrees, yeah. It's been nippy, man. It's been a little nippy out there, but I mean, so far, I don't know, middle of January, we're kind of getting through it, all right?
Yeah, we're good, man.
It's the winter here. You can't think it's going to be like 60 every day.
Yeah, you got that right.
You know, move to Tennessee or something.
Yeah.
So, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Good, Happy New Year to you and everything.
You know. Happy New Year to you. It's healthy. You got to have a healthy in there somewhere, right?
Yes, because, always. Man, without health, you got it. You got it. You got
Zippo. So, let's right off the bat. Let's talk about the Kingstonian public hearing last night. The Common Council held another session because the first one that they held, a month ago or so, in the City Hall, Common Council got thrown out because the Zoom meeting wasn't working. What a world we live in.
Yeah.
The Zoom meeting wasn't working.
Too many people crashed the system.
Crashed it. So then last night it was an in-person only meeting, and all the Common Council members were there. I don't remember seeing the whole Common Council previously. Some of the meetings I've been at, a couple representatives here and there, but they were all there, man.
Yeah.
They were all there, and good for them for representing. And there were a lot of folks. You got up there, man, with fire and brimstone, man. You pulled it right out of the hat and just said, "Man, I grew up here." Tell folks.
Yeah, for me, whenever it comes to Kingston, I have this great love for Kingston. This is my city. I'm getting ready to be 66 in March, and so many great memories of the uptown of going. My aunt's taking us up there to get school clothes and everything.
Gallums and Woolworths.
Woolworths and who is it? Montgomery Ward. Yeah, that was a long time. A lot of people's eyes opened up. Yeah, but the reality of it is that malls came into play, and then Uptown Kingston became depleted. There was nothing up there, and so I just like I said, I have a great love for Kingston. Yeah. It's a great place to live, great place to raise your kids. I got so many, lifetime's friends, 60-year-old friends, and and stuff like that. And a lot of people can't say that they have that. I mean, truly friends, from the boys club and all different stuff like that. And I, lived in the area all my life, but And as I was saying, it might have been founded in the 1600s, but we don't have to live like we're in the 1600s. And, I know people don't like change and they don't like, the history aspect and all of that. But, we're moving forward in a different, direction, which I think is going to be, positive, for the uptown area. Look at all them businessmen that struggle for years and years and years. Parking and all the different aspects, and different things like that. And, Brad Jordan's a great guy as one of the developers. Me and him sat down, have a conversation and stuff, and it's still in the process. His heart is for his city that he lived in, his family and everything else. And I think sometimes, he gets beat up for the stuff, but behind the scene, Brad has done a lot for this city.
I would say that's one word, envy, right? People are envious of the fact that family over the years has done so much. And they've given away so much.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? I never begrudge anybody making money if you make it the right way, in terms of, not illegal stuff. But you make money and you give money away to the community. How many folks make money and don't give 1 cent away to somebody?
True. And also it's a biblical principle. It says give and it shall be given unto you.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And you don't have to claim that you know the Lord or not. It's just a principle that's in the earth. If you're a giver, it's going to come back to you.
That's
I'm just, like I said, I'm just grateful. You know what I mean? It just fires me up when I get to talk about Kingston, because I had so many fond memories as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times that people don't realize how special this place is,
Exactly.
because I get to, as a pastor, I get to travel the world, South Africa, Haiti, Jamaica, and I get to see the impoverishment of the rest of the world, because in America, we don't realize, Americans, we're only 4% of the world.
Right.
The other 96% don't live close to what we experience here. We have so much to be grateful for.
Yeah. One day in Haiti, man, it'll change your whole perspective.
Yes.
One day in Haiti. Spend 1 day in Haiti, and you'll just you want running water? Go fetch it.
Yeah, there you go.
Go fetch
and that's
it.
an everyday occurrence.
You
Jamaica's
want a
the
toilet
same
that
way.
Flushes? Well, you're lucky if you got one down there, but yeah, it's rough. I think a lot of the folks, like I said, a strong majority of people in favor who spoke last night, a lot of Kingstonians, a lot of folks that have their heart in the city and this county. And the folks that spoke against it pretty much were on the dole, being paid by the folks that don't want this to happen for some reason known only to God. But so they don't have their heart and soul in this. They're getting a paycheck to say what they said.
Yeah.
We get.
It was like the one young lady that got up there and spoke and was talking about, her children and everything, how she moved back here. For the family aspect and for the, the community aspect of it. And that, I think that's what's important. When we,
the message.
You live in all these different cities around this country, these big cities, but we're up here in the, the foothills of the Catskills, and there's so much to offer, so much peace. I just met a young man that's working in Hannaford, just from Brooklyn. Right? Last night after the meeting, I went up there to give me some almond milk and
some good stuff.
And I from living in Kingston, I can look at people and tell you're not from here.
Yeah, right.
I know, and so I just said so. I said, "Where you from, bro?" And he said, "From Brooklyn." And I said, "Bed-Stuy." He said, "Yeah." So we were just talking. I said, "So why are you up here?" He said, "For peace." Yeah. And people don't realize, this is a peaceful town.
Yes.
We have our ups and downs. We have our little quirks, our little cowboys and all that. Right. But on the majority, we live a peaceful life here.
Yeah.
We interact with one another as a people group. We always don't get along, and, hey, that's the human side of us that we don't get along. But for the majority of the time that we interact and we do things and we care. We care about certain people groups. We care about each other. We want to see people prosper. We want to see,
Folks
people
get help that need help.
Exactly. And, and being a tradesman as well, the economic impact it's going to bring, for guys who live here locally so they don't have to travel. For years, 20-some years, I had to travel 2 hours away, an hour, wherever, Orange County, big booming always, but it was nice my, last years of being in the trades, I got to build Kingston High School. I was in the apprenticeship.
Cool.
program and came on up. I was superintendent for Bob Carey for years. So there's just different things that I think that people are not looking at. And then, this pedestrian plaza that they're going to.
Yeah, that's
they're going to
be.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's going to be something that is going to bring, peace and harmony. I think it's going to bring, more jobs and everything else.
Absolutely. And all the positive reasons. And, folks that are against this, that Fair Street extension, that thing is 2 football fields. Let's see, 100 yards, 300 feet. It's about 700 feet. That's what it is, 700 feet. And an interstate highway.
No.
and it's rarely used. Harry Waltman, retired KPD, saying, hey, this is not an emergency street that the whole world spins around. And everybody knew this was part of the deal. Right at the get-go. And folks said that, so.
And like I said, about King. Remember, we had the sinkhole for about 2 years.
That's right.
And we made that work.
That's right.
All right. Look at DeBellis. He got a booming business now. He had to move, but he has a booming business up on Lucas Avenue. Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, Kingston people are resilient. Okay, we had a lot of tragedies and the Raquel Knox thing and everything. How the community surrounded around. DJ May. Right, all these different types of things. But Kingstonians surround ourselves through the tragedy and through everything else, and that's why I think this is going to work too.
And by the way, a diverse group there last night.
Yes,
I was happy to see that. Not just the white businessmen that were there. No, there was a good mix of folks, color, gender, and so I was really happy to see that. And hopefully the Common Council now does the right thing, Rev. Hopefully they do the right thing, and I think they will. I think they heard the messaging last night. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I think they did too, and let them do the research for themselves and make a quality decision concerning this, because there's still things that still have to be put in place. One of the things about the affordable housing. Right. Okay, there's going to be 14 units. They're going to make sure that people from Kingston get them. Yeah. Right, and I think that's an important thing.
Developers are going to make that happen. If these developers were from Timbuktu somewhere, they wouldn't give 2 hoots about Kingston.
True, very true.
You know what I mean?
Very
the Jordan family knows it. The Benora family, a very long-time Hudson Valley family as well. Not sure if they're from Poughkeepsie or Newburgh. I think they're from Newburgh. But these are folks that care. And you know what? If they make some money on this, amen. That's what America's all about.
Yeah, well, developers are going to make money. Come on,
exactly. That's their job, man.
That's right.
If you're a carpenter, you can't build something straight. You
ain't gonna make no money.
You ain't gonna make no money.
And I also think the tourism aspect. We're right close to through exit 19. People going up and down all the time. And, everybody likes in winter to hear there's a new thing going on in Kingston. Let's go see. We've got all the rail trails where people now from the Midtown area could come down into the plaza and then do what they're going to do there and then come up to the North Front Street area. I think it's going to be something that's going to be.
I thought it was interesting, though, that, and I left around 9 o'clock or so, and by that time, as I said, it was 44-8 folks, positively speaking, 8 negative, and about 5 or 6 of those were on the staff. But the folks that are against this are absolutely out of towners.
Yeah.
They're out of towners.
Yeah, Westchester, Poughkeepsie, and all. And that's what I said. You can't, you're not going to let somebody come in your house and tell you what to do in your house.
Exactly.
And you can't let other people from other areas come into our city. We live here. We're the taxpayers. Yeah. We're the ones that have to make the decisions, for our city. Right. Because look, now Tech City's moving. Right. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening here in Kingston, positively, job-wise and everything. You can't even fill jobs.
Oh yeah, man. I know. We got anytime 20 jobs we can't fill. Yeah. The folks just and they'll come out. I think they'll come in. I think the Omicron is scaring people. It was interesting. Right before the Omicron started, we had a lot of folks, especially in the trades, blue-collar jobs, folks coming in the office to fill out an application. because a lot of us, stuff is online, and some of these fellas said, we're not going to do the online stuff. We'll come in the office. We'll come in the office, fill it out. So we were seeing, 1 week, I think we had maybe 10 folks coming in 1 week, and we hadn't had 10 folks come in 2 months. So it started, and then the Omicron stopped it. But I think I was reading Dutchess County, their cases are crazy, but they just dropped by like 700.
Okay.
They were way above us, Dutchess County. They were, for some reason, ahead of us in this whole virus thing. I don't know why, this recent strain variant. But I just read that they dropped 700, which kind of bodes well. If that means that's starting to decline.
Yes.
Over there, it means it's going to burn out, and maybe hopefully, although our numbers are going up, I'm thinking by the end of January, we're going to see the same trend that cases come down. And so maybe by February, March, we'll get kind of back to it unless they pop another one on us. But
But, and that's another thing. We got to look. Central Hudson, they're doing that work out there on 9W. That's going to create another 300 plus jobs and
tons of jobs.
Tons of jobs and everything where people can now, look for quality work to take care of their family. Because it's all about families, and as people thrive as a people group, the crime goes down and everything else because the positivity and the stuff that's going on. And like I said, I'm just excited I'm always excited when there's something new going to happen. We can't live in a bubble and we can't stay the same. America would have never grew to what it is now if we had kept the ships tied to the ocean down there when they first came over here. So I think it's important for growth and, that people come together. This is just the beginning. It's not over and, whatever quorums or whatever people got, let's sit down and talk about it. So it could be something that's positive and we move forward as a community, because I want to see my family thrive. As elders that we have to leave the generation coming behind us better than what we had to. They shouldn't have to start over from the very beginning, so it's up to us to leave something for them to build on.
But do we have to call ourselves elders yet?
Yes, we do, because we're the I told my friend.
I'm resisting that, man.
A friend of mine, you were just talking the other day. He said, we're getting old. I said, no, we ain't getting, we got. But.
Yeah, getting is something
so true.
That ain't happening. But yeah, no, it was hopefully again there'll be a positive outcome of this thing, and we'll have some good news to report. I'm not sure when they're voting. I don't know if the Common Council voting on this.
I haven't heard anything concerning that.
Somebody may be able to clarify that or drop us a text or something. I thought I heard maybe next week, but who knows? Today's Thursday, and so.
Thunder Thursday,
man. Yeah. So what else? What else is going on? Let me read one quick announcement here. This is our friends from the Kingston Mohnenchor and Damenchor, the German-American group that's been there, been there for a while. They've been on Greenkill Avenue there, somewhere around there, since 1868.
Oh, yeah, that's the place right next to the new
right.
Energy Square there.
Right. So
the German spot, right?
German spot, correct. Let's see. So there's an event, Winter Wurst Fest. There's a takeout. My wife will like this. She comes from good German stock, Leanne. Her great-granddaddy came over from Germany to be the pastor at, let's see, what's the place on President's Place? There's a church there. Is that
that big one?
It was a German church. It was a German church. That was all German folks that were there, kind of like the down in Pankaki there, the Polish church. And very back then, very much ethnic churches, right?
Yes.
Italians had their church. Yeah. Polish had their church. Blacks had that.
We still do.
But the rest of them don't, by the way. The rest of them don't. So anyway, so January 22nd, that's 2 Saturdays. This one's the 15th. So next Saturday, January 22nd, from 12 noon to 1:30, get over to 37 Greenkill Avenue and get your worst platters, man. $15. You get bratwurst, Weisswurst, and Knockwurst. What's worse than worst? Nothing. So orders and payment required by Wednesday, January 12th. We accept checks and all credit cards. Please call Marion at 845-546-3534. So that should be pretty good, man. Some good grub there. We're going to, both platters include sauerkraut, mashed potato, dinner roll, and dessert. I have a piece of toast this morning, man.
Good guy. Well, good thing that walkway is right there. So once you eat all that, you can walk it off.
You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. So that's coming up. So what else is going on? Let's talk about a guest real quick, and then we'll. So 7:30 we have Joe Jenkins from Central Hudson. He's going to be calling in, pinch hitting for John Masurgeon from Central Hudson. We talk about Central Hudson. Maybe Joe can enlighten us a little bit on that project out there.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. And then Tim Wiedemann, our Ulster County Director of Economic Development, who maybe get us up to speed on Tech City and. There's projects all over the place.
Yeah. And like I said, I think it's important. IBM pulled out years ago, and this area where we live in Ulster County has kind of been depleted, and everybody else around us has been building up. The waterfronts of Poughkeepsie, Newburgh, and Orange County, and everything. And I think it's time for us to come up to the spot where we can, create. Like I said, quality jobs for people
absolutely. With benefits,
right? And to buy homes and to do all the things that people want. Exactly, so much going on, that people don't have, and it comes from, employers being able, to help to bridge the gap with some of their employees. But when the area is depleted, there's nothing coming in, even for the city. The revenue that's going to come, it now, helps the mayor to. Pave the roads and do everything. Steve, if you're listening, okay? Henry Street. And I think that's an important aspect that sometimes get lost. When there is no revenue, your budget, you got a shoestring budget. You got to do what you got to do.
Right.
And people complain about this, complain about that, but when there's, major funding coming to your city from taxes and tourism and other things, it builds a surplus so we are be able to, build the city. The new turnaround we got up there. There's a lot of things to look in the positive. It's always easy to look for the negatives, but let's look for the positive. What's going to go on it, and the growth that's going to come for us to accent the city to draw people, other developers or other people who want to come here, major companies or whatever it could be. But
absolutely no, but and it's if for some reason that this doesn't move forward, there will never be another developer that steps foot in Kingston. You think about that. Who's going to want to do that? And there were in the past. You remember Tom Perna, the project that was going to be on the river there with apartments and
yes.
I think of the name of that one off the top
down
of my
there
head.
by the Brickyard. You're talking about yes.
That one took 5 or 6 years, and then they finally caved. So that's I think the reputation that Kingston had.
Yeah, yes, it does.
That anybody who comes in here, you're going to spend a lot of money and you're going to get shut down. And the folks from out of the community are the ones that influence the elected officials to shut it down. And the rest of us needed to have a voice, and I think we have a voice now.
Yeah. It's important. I think it is. Yes, the people of Kingston. Like I said, I'm a longtime resident.
Yeah. Right.
Well, like I said, my family from my grandma. You're talking about. I'm getting ready to be 66. You're talking about 100 years, a century of my family working and and doing and raising kids and sending them to school. And now it's my turn. I send my kids and my the oldest grandson is going to Iona. He's criminal justice major, and I got a little 6-year-old guy too. That every time he sees Grandpa,
he's all fired up.
Yeah. But and that's the way it is, because we got to move forward. You can't stay in a bubble in the box, because then the kids they don't want to stay here. Family's important. Part of my job description is I have to do a lot of funerals more than I like to do. But one of the things I always tell people that family is the greatest gift that God ever gave us. It's not the money you got in the bank. Okay, it's not the car you drive, the house you live in. It's each other.
Right.
You know, and not just personal families, but the human family. You know, we have to look at how much wealth.
Absolutely.
You know, there's more wealth in the cemetery than there is walking around here because
true.
we just don't recognize what we have as a people group.
Yeah, absolutely. My dear friend who passed, I don't know, now 10 years ago probably, John Lawson. You probably know John.
Yes,
John,
yeah, I
John
knew the
and
family.
Emily.
In fact, I knew the family for years. So
He used to say, it's not what you have, it's who you have.
yes, and that's
What
important.
you have, it's who you have.
Yeah. And, you know, and just like this whole thing, you know, like, you know, Brad, like I said, Brad Jordan, you know, has been a friend of mine, and his brother coached, you know, my son in basketball and everything like that. But it's who we have in this community. He's not alone. There's other great people in this community that care about this community, you know, and professionals and all types of stuff, and want to see this community to prosper and, you know, to grow.
Yeah. And I mean, there were a lot of folks last night that spoke about how generous the Jordan family has been to many, many, many organizations, not-for-profits, folks in need. And again, I mean, they don't have to do that.
No.
There's a whole lot of wealthy people that go say, oh, let me go buy a vacation home. Let me go buy another car. Let me go buy this. Let me go buy that. Not let me help the community.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let me help folks. Let me help Boys and Girls Club. Let me help the Hispanic community.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that those folks are walking the walk, man. They are walking the talk and the walk. They get it, and so that's why, I mean, anybody who talks down about this project and how the Jordans are going to make more money, I'll tell you what, good, because that means they're going to give more money back.
There you go.
I hope they make $100 million,
There you go.
$200. I don't care what they make, because you know what, they're going to give it back.
And look at the, you know, like you said, Dan Whalen was there last night. He said, talking about George said on the board, and look at what has came out, the Tay Fishers, the Keith Simmons, guys that, you know, grew up and, you know, went to college and, you know, have made well for themselves. You know, Jerry Drake was, you know, professional football. For the Arizona Cardinals, you know, played, you know, in the Kingston Junior Football League.
I know that. Yeah.
Everybody's not going to make it. I tell these young kids all the time. They have high aspirations, but, you know, Kingston has produced some great people, you know, athletes, you know. Joe Assanio played for the Yankees, you know. We got, who is it, the short kid, and then the other kid that playing, you know, in the professional baseball. Right.
Bunch of brothers,
So, you know, we got to look at that aspect. What more can be developed here if these kids get a chance?
Opportunities.
And who's to say that, you know, people passing through him might say, hey, I like that little town. You know, let me move in there.
Well, I think the folks that have moved up here decided, well, it's too busy and too many folks and too much going on where I live. I'm going to come up here and stop everything. And let me, you know, just keep it, you know, very... Not, you know, I don't want it to get busy again. I don't want it to get too many businesses, too many this. These folks move into the community and just drop the hammer and say, yeah, no, we don't want any more growth. Well, who the heck are you?
Right.
You know, the folks that lived here since IBM left in 1994, so I can't remember when that year was. We've been 0 for 94.
Right, you're right.
We've been 0 for 94.
You're absolutely right. You know, you build more hotels and, you know, malls, and like, nobody can compete with Jeff Bezos now.
No, yeah, that's true.
So all that is out the window. So we got to get back to the mom and pop shops. You got to get back, and you know, like I said, John Blue is a friend of mine, has a hat shop up there on Wall Street. You know, them guys, you know, they need this breath of fresh air. They need these people who are going to these people are going to come here and live here, and you know, you got to eat.
Right.
So they're going to be eating in these things. They're going to be buying clothes. They're going to be, you know, doing different things to help people who have lived here put their monies into these businesses and, you know, and everything. So I got friends uptown and everything that have businesses and everything. So
we got to keep.
I think it's important. I just think it's important that, you know. Yeah, but faith has feet. You can talk about keep the faith all you want. You can put some feet to that faith. You know?
Get a voice to that faith.
That's right, something.
I like to say, this is a great term I just heard the other day, be an upstander, not a bystander.
Right.
Be an upstander.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Growth is not a spectator sport.
That's right.
You got to get involved, and then if you have a gripe, bring your gripes to the table. Just don't stand out there. It's like a dog barking over the fence. All you hear is yap, 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 yap.
Right.
Bring it to the table.
Right.
Okay? Maybe there's something they didn't think about.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You're right. I didn't consider that, or we did not consider that. There's certain things that you got to bring to the table and be willing to,
be flexible.
Exactly.
And I think the Kingstonian folks have been that. I mean, this project started here, and it has evolved to a point where, there's been input received and changes made.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So now, you can take that and spin that forever, like this is not right or this is a historic thing and blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. This thing has been through every scrutiny known to, mankind.
But America's been historic.
Yeah.
But we moved on.
Yeah, exactly.
We moved on from when the first settlers came here, regardless of who it was, what ethnic group or whatever. They moved on because they seen, that we could make this better.
Keep moving, man.
Yeah, what can we do to improve? What can we do to make the city better as a whole? And that's everybody.
Exactly.
But you got to be willing to, put your biases and all that other stuff aside.
Look, the mayor has taken some shots all along the way, and I give him a lot of credit and kudos for, bringing this project, because it started with him. He was the one who said, hey, we need, let's get requests for proposal. I think Val Dwyer mentioned that last night in her talk when she got up there. She said this thing started at the mayor's desk.
Okay.
So let's give the guy some credit for this, and the fact that we're hopefully going to bring this home is leadership on his part. So we want to give a shout out to Mayor Steve Noble. Lawrence, you want to take us to break and then we'll come back?
Yep, because we got your 7:30 guest that's ready to go.
Cool,
okay.
Man. All right, let's go to break.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas for Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat Restores are nonprofit home improvement stores and donation centers that sell new and gently used furniture, building materials, and appliances to the public at a fraction of the retail cost. The Ulster County Restore at 406 Route 28 in Kingston needs your donations. Call our hotline at 845-853-7499 to schedule your free pickup. And thanks.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, wherever the mission takes us, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
January is National Blood Donor Month, and Dunkin' Donuts and the American Red Cross are teaming up to honor blood donors who make a difference. This is Donna Morrissey of the Red Cross. All those who come in to give blood in the month of January at a Red Cross blood drive will receive a $5 Dunkin' Donuts gift card. It's one way we can say thank you for being a hero to patients in need. Your help is needed now. Please call 1-800-RED-CROSS, visit redcrossblood.org, or download the Blood Donor app to find a blood drive near you. Thank you for making a difference.
Hi, I'm Ruth Quick from town of Ulster. I support Kingston Community Radio, and you should too.
You're listening to Kingston.
Yeah, what? Oh! Are we on the air?
We're back on the air. We're having some problems with the computer. I thought I fixed it yesterday.
Okay.
But apparently it jumps around and it picks what commercial it wants to play on its own.
Okay, well,
it's like, what was that movie with the car that drove by itself?
My Mother the Car?
No, Christine? No, the Stephen King movie.
Christine.
Christine.
Is that Christine?
Scary movie. Yeah.
Anyway, your guest is on the
air. We're back on, folks. This is Thunder Thursday. This is Tony Marmo.
And Reverend Donald Mapes.
You are that, absolutely. And good morning, Joe. How are you? Joe Jenkins.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you? I'm doing great today. It was, the first morning in a while where I woke up and went outside and the weather didn't hurt my face. I think we're off to a good start so far.
Very good, Joe. You're from Central Hudson. You're pinch hitting for John Masurgeon. John's a great guy, great representative for Central Hudson. Tell us what you do with Central Hudson.
Well, I work with John. John is very intelligently down south on vacation.
He's a smart man.
He's doing better than all of us.
Snowbirds.
Yeah. That's great. And you're based out of Poughkeepsie?
I sure am. Yeah, John and I work together, and we work in our corporate communications department where we handle all of our media relations and. Whether it be, talking to folks and getting our good message out there or, just helping folks know about what kind of programs we have available for them.
Great. We appreciate that. Well, we are in the throes of winter right now. Any thoughts or messages for folks, as we pray for April 1st to get here or April 15th or whenever it gets to be warmer? Although it's going to be like 40, isn't it, pretty soon?
Yes, shorts weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, shorts weather, hopefully for sure. We do. It is that time of year. It's here. It's winter. We always say the days get cold, and I'm sure when folks are sitting in their house, they hear those heating systems kicking on. And when that does happen, it can at times spike up the demand price for resources like natural gas and electricity. So, we always remind folks around this time of year to, just be mindful of that, to use their appliances efficiently to help conserve resources so that they can manage those bills. And, to keep an eye on the thermostat if you can bear it, maybe drop it down a degree or two to save a little bit if you need to. And to remind them that, we have a lot of different programs that if you're in a position where you might be looking to replace a heating system, that there's a lot of incentives out there and you can find them all on our website.
Great. Give the website real quick, Joe.
Sure. It's www.centralhudson.com, and all those incentives can be found right on that homepage by clicking on Save.
All right. Joe, I know you're doing a big project up here in Kingston, and what exactly are you looking for as far as employees?
In terms of employees at the training academy,
yes.
That is a big project. It's a multi-year project of ours. Basically, what that area is going to be, it's going to be a number of different. It's going to really be a number of different positions that'll be filled there. To be honest with you, because it's not only going to be a training academy where all of our new employees in a post-COVID world would hopefully go into a classroom setting for orientation and for specific classes for whatever positions they have, but it's also going to be our primary control center, and that's a really fancy way of saying that's going to basically function as the brain for our electric and gas distribution and transmission system.
Man, that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big thing, and we're excited about it because it's going to bring some new technologies. It's going to help us better accommodate the integration of renewable resources onto the energy system. So, the positions that will be working there will predominantly, in that control center would predominantly be, folks who are engineers or operations people who work directly on the energy system that delivers power and gas to our customers.
What's the location of that, Joe? Where is that going to be? Do you know?
It's in Lake Katrine, right on 9W. The old. We have our district office in the old Myron building right there, and it's just right adjacent to that, near the Bread Alone factory.
Okay, great. So is that going to be new construction or conversion?
All new construction.
Wow.
So we're in the process of building it now. We had to clear a little bit of land, and what exists there right now, what we have built, and this is happening in multiple phases, is we have completed construction on what we're calling our gas village. And what it is it's a series of small buildings, basically sheds that simulate, houses or apartment buildings. And, it's going to allow our employees to train on, essentially like a no-risk pipeline
simulator kind of thing?
Exactly. And it'll help them, learn how to respond to gas emergencies in a safer environment. And we're also in the process of building a pole yard, which is going to be the same thing, but for the electric side of the business. And so that's what's there right now. And then we're going to, in the coming years, we'll begin work on that primary control center and the training academy.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, like 3 to 5 year project, roughly, or less than that?
Yeah, we hope, without any delays, we hope to have the whole thing completed by 2026. So.
Okay. Well, that's right around the corner, man.
Yeah, time is moving. So, Joe, is there any local guys working on that now? Are you training anybody from the area on how to do that, or it's just your guys right now?
Right now, with that particular project, we're still strictly in the construction phase. So there's nobody there right now. But it is going to be, and it will be a mix of new jobs coming into the area because of that facility, and then other Central Hudson jobs that already exist, sort of relocating to that once it becomes available. So, and the other thing I should mention too, which is super valuable about this site, is we're also going to open it up to area first responders so that they have the opportunity to train on that gas village and on the electric pole village, so that they're better equipped to respond to these emergencies.
That's great. I mean, this is fantastic and obviously well thought out, well designed, because most of your headquarters are in Poughkeepsie, correct?
That's correct.
And so this will kind of put Ulster County on the map a little bit. We appreciate that. Joe, how long have you been with Central Hudson?
I've been here for about 1.5 years.
Oh, okay.
So I got hired right in the thick of the pandemic. So I got to know everybody on Zoom meetings and stuff like that.
Man, lovely, isn't it? I mean, look, be like you're a Zoom employee.
Yeah. I like how people can do the background. And,
I know, yeah.
And everything.
Wherever you want to be.
That.
And where are you? Native Hudson Valley, or where are you from?
I sure, for the most part, yeah. I moved here. I'm originally from the Midwest, but I have lived here in basically the town of Poughkeepsie on and off, with the exception of going away to college for about 25, 26 years now.
Okay.
So we moved out here. My dad worked at Indian Point until he retired. And,
cool.
I'm officially a townie now at this point.
Okay, good. So. What part of the Midwest are you from?
Chicago.
Okay. Windy City.
Michael Jordan fan.
Were you growing up a Michael Jordan fan?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have to live in Chicago to be a Jordan fan, man. Right? That guy just destroyed the Knicks. I mean, just snatched it right away from us, But no, that's great. Look, Central Hudson is and we certainly appreciate all you do for the community as well. We're talking about the Kingstonian project a little bit earlier. Reverend Mapes and I were at the public hearing last night and testified on behalf of the project. And but there's other corporate folks that do good work in the community, and Central Hudson has been that over the years. I'm formerly the CEO of Kingston Hospital long time ago in a land far, far away, but I mean, I can remember their philanthropy, Central Hudson supporting, and you all continue to do that, maybe different ways now, but you're really vested in the communities that you serve, not just, taking folks money to keep the lights on, keep the heat on. You give back, and that's I think a great thing in today's society.
Yeah, and to your point, I think one of the things that I like to tell folks all the time is it means so much to us to be a lot more than just the bill that arrives in your inbox or in your mailbox every month. And last year alone, Central Hudson and its employees contributed about $1.4 million back into the community through charitable endeavors or through economic development support.
Yeah.
So it was a real mix of things. Whether it be our employees and retirees raised $394,000 for the United Way, for local United Way chapters.
That's great. Yeah.
And we continued on, and I'm sure John talked to you about it a number of times over the last couple of years. We did continue on with our commitment for $1 million in grants to small businesses in the area to help them pay down, working loans to help them either stay open or reopen during the pandemic and then the recovery. So.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that. I mean, because we mentioned it earlier. There's so many people that are wealthy that don't do this, or businesses that make a lot of money and don't plow it back or don't give it back to the folks that help them get there.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, there's a moral obligation to do that. I mean, if you're in business and you don't get that, I don't know, move to somewhere else.
Yeah. So, Joe, how would people access the things that you have for the community?
Sure. Well, we actually have a number of assistance programs that can help people out, whether it be small businesses or residents. And I think one of the assistance programs that we offer for residents is our our Good Neighbor Fund, which is sort of like a last resort fund that folks can use after they've exhausted all other forms of assistance if they need help with their bill. We also have on our website, we also have assistance programs that are federally funded programs like HEAP, which can help with bill credits. So there's a number of ways that residents can help, and then there are also incentives for businesses as well. Businesses, we can go in and give them whether if you're looking for heat pumps just like a home, or if you're looking to upgrade your HVAC or your lighting, we can have someone come in and give you a sort of tailor-made solution for your business to help you save in that way. So, and then for our assistance programs, once again, if you're looking for any way to get involved charitably or anything like that, you can just go right onto our website, which is www.centralhudson.com.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds great. So, we're in the throes of winter right now, and I know y'all are doing planning. You always plan for whatever, the rest of the winter, and then the seasonal changes around here. It's not like, sunny Miami around here. You get all kinds of weather, but I think from a disaster, I'll call it disaster preparedness, might be a different term. I know you're always doing that kind of stuff, right? Like, just in case we get blah, 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 right? I mean, can you talk about that a little bit, how you all gear up for, something that's going to change the landscape here?
Like the last ice storm.
Like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's a two-pronged approach when it comes to this stuff. We see it. It's, we see that the weather is getting more severe as time goes on, and that the frequency of these severe storms is becoming more frequent. So one of the things that we do as sort of a proactive approach to this is we work on hardening the system, and what we mean by hardening the system is sort of preparing it so that now knowing that we're having stronger winds and more severe storms, how do we have the system ready to handle that? And one of the best ways we do that is through, the fancy term we use is a comprehensive vegetation management system. And the easy way to say that is that we trim a lot of trees.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out where vegetation came in.
Those are the big syllables for when we need to fill up a lot of pages. Fallen trees and tree limbs is the number one cause of storm-related outages on our system. And
interesting.
This is a very tree-dense area. It's beautiful, yes, but it does come with a little bit of risk to our system. So we have a very well thought out system on rotation, so that we're responsibly trimming trees where we can, to clear them out of the right of way to reduce that risk of falling on the lines, and then also potentially responsibly removing dangerous trees that are sick or dying because of invasive species or whatever it might be. and making sure that they're out of the way as well. And then some of the other things that we do proactively is pretty. It comes down to some things as simple as just installing wider and taller poles, because we live in an area where the trees are mature, they continue to grow, and sometimes the best thing that we can do is just get the power lines up and out of the way.
Yeah.
So, and then of course we do, it's something. It's a bill there's a bill that's looks like it's in the beginning stage, or legislation that's in the beginning stages up in Albany to study the feasibility of undergrounding.
I was just going to.
Yeah, it's right.
I was just going to ask that
too.
Right?
Yeah. Great minds think alike. Yeah, the underground. Yeah. Wow, that's got to be significant, though, I would guess, right? And that's at the legislative level?
It would be. It would be. It would be. It would be pricey. Central Hudson did a study on just our system and just our distribution system probably about 10 or 11 years ago, and it was just our system, not including any of the other utilities, and taking them off of our poles or anything like that. It came at a pretty significant cost, and it was into the billions of dollars, nearly $20 billion to underground our entire system.
Wow.
And because it comes with different challenges.
Yeah.
I mean, it's we are not New York City. We don't have continuous development, and our entire service area hasn't really been, terraformed to allow for continuous development. So, there's a lot of sensitive environmental areas that we would need to take into account. And, our study 10, 11 years ago came to the conclusion that it was to underground the entire system is just too cost prohibitive to our customers. Now, are we going to continue to look at areas where it might make the most sense, where we would get the most bang for our buck, so to speak, and really improve our reliability for those customers without having a significant financial impact? Yeah, we'll look at that. And we do have small underground systems in Kingston, in Newburgh, and in Poughkeepsie. So it's not something that we're necessarily opposed to. We just want to make sure that we're doing it in the right way. And when it comes to that legislation about doing a study, we're all for doing a study, and if and as long as the costs are properly taken into account, we'll heed its advice.
Yeah, no, that's good, because this ain't Arizona. I mean, where you got a grid and a bunch of sand.
Yeah, we got a lot of stone up in mountains,
stone trees, you name it. Yeah. That's Northeast is like, this is what it is, man. A lot of volcanic activity back in the day, right? A lot of glaciers moving around here and there. So, yeah. What else, Joe? What else is on the horizon or thought process for Central? I got a question for you. If someone thinks that their bill is a little off, or they think it's a little too high, or a little too this, or a little too that, what's the best advice you have for folks to ask about that bill that comes periodically? I guess every month now, but right. So, but what's advice for that you have for folks to?
Sure,
if they have a question.
That's a good question. I appreciate you asking it. I think the most important thing that folks can do is, if they do see something that they believe to be an irregularity on their bill, and it does on occasion happen, is to give us a call. And you can give us a call at 845-452-2700.
Okay. 452-2700.
And get in touch with a customer service rep. And right now we're experiencing some pretty high call volume, so you may get a hold of someone that just asks you what your problem is, takes down your information, and we have somebody get back to you as soon as we can. But don't wait is my biggest piece of advice. Whether you call us, whether you reach out to us on social media, the most important thing you can do is help us, help you figure out what might be going on. Because it may be, there are some times where it's a small glitch on our end that we have to identify and fix, or it may be something as simple as an estimate on your bill, which is based off of a previous tenant,
prior usage,
in your house, and they just use their energy different. I had a friend who just installed a gigantic in-ground pool this summer, so his estimates for the summer were way off, because the previous year he wasn't using a pool pump and a heater and all that other fun stuff. So the biggest thing you can do is the best thing you can do really is just reach out to us, and we'll do our best to make it right. And if there is something wrong, we'll make every effort to help make it right as soon as we can.
Nice.
Yeah, no, that's good. We just put in a couple of those split units, AC and heat, and
oh yeah,
and I took a look at my bill and I'm saying, holy crow! But my oil bill went down, so because the other one went up, hitting electricity. But yeah, I mean it's that's what I'm saying, and I think that's your point too. It might be circumstances in the household that have changed. Only two ways for that thing to go up: price or quantity. If you're using a lot more, is going to go up, and I'm sure there's price increases that happen over time because Lord knows everything goes up in this world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think to that point, another thing that's important to note, and this may be something that John has spoken to you folks about in the not too distant past, but the supply cost for energy has gone up significantly over the last couple months.
Right.
So the price of natural gas and the price of energy right now are higher than they were last year. So and those charges on your bill are a pass through. Those are not something where Central Hudson sort of buys your energy, marks it up, and then and sells it to you at a profit. What we pay for the energy we provide to you is what you pay for that energy that you use.
Right.
So we're seeing a little bit of an uptick in the price of those resources over the last few.
Sure. Well, this is the world of inflation we're in right now, right? I mean, that's just
time.
all over the place, So that's understandable. So if folks do see a uptick in their Central Hudson bill, and you're kind of curious, how did it jump from X to Y? Then pick up the phone and talk to somebody about it, and they'll give you a good explanation. Some of it is, you're paying more for bread and eggs and chicken and whatever the heck gasoline. Everything's going up, man.
Everything's
right?
up, yeah.
So energy is a product of what's going on in the world.
Joe, do you guys do like town halls, like to field these questions that other people might not hear? Is that an aspect that Central Hudson does at times?
We haven't done it since I've been here, but I think it's a great idea, and I know that we're looking at different options to better solicit customer feedback. We've been doing some online sort of Facebook Live events where we've been talking about whether it's energy efficiency programs or what to expect with the CLCPA and things of that nature. So we're doing I suppose modified versions of town halls, but I guess sort of
like a focus group almost. We used to call back in the day, a little focus group. You get whatever X number of people from a community and give them some apple cider donuts, coffee.
He always feeds people.
That's the Italian, man. You feed them and they come. That's how that goes. But no, that's good. I mean, look, it's important, and that's the sign of a good employer that is soliciting feedback and communicating and say, hey, this is where the world's going. This is what the options are. This is not 30, 40 years ago where no one kind of knew or talked, or even these cell phones and communications are different now, but people do appreciate the in-person approach still.
Yes, they do.
Notwithstanding what's going on these days, you know. I'm sure y'all are battling Omicron just like everybody else, Joe, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, it's funny. I got to be honest with you. I still haven't celebrated Christmas with some of my family members yet because it goes from one family member to the next. Where do you find the time to meet up? But, we are, as a company, we're battling with it as well. We get a daily count. When we do come into the office, we mask up. We do everything we can to stay safe. But it's a reality that we're all contending with these days.
That's true.
And you got a lot of employees, and I'm sure you're. I was telling Don earlier that I saw the Dutchess County numbers seem to drop. Which is a good sign. They were maybe they've peaked and coming on down. Ulster County's still climbing a little bit. And hopefully we'll hit peak soon and come back down the escalator because it's disrupting business in just about every place. So no one can. There's no one's immune from it or free from it necessarily. So all businesses are affected, and our some of the restaurants that we frequent, just can't. They don't have enough staff to serve. So I mean, this is the reality of our world, and hopefully, we get through this as the warm weather starts coming back. We can get back outside and hit the fresh air.
I sure hope so.
That's what's going on. So, Joe Jenkins, thank you very much, man. You've been great. This is what happened when guy used to play for the Yankees. His name was Wally Pipp. He slipped, fell down, or something like that. Then Lou Gehrig stepped in, took over for him, and became a superstar. Could be Joe Jenkins' story. Where's my surgeon?
Is John listening?
John who? John. We love John Masurgeon. He's he's a great guy. His Masurgeon family in Poughkeepsie's been there for many, many, many years, but you're a great replacement for John, and we hope to hear from you again someday.
Absolutely. I look forward to it, guys. And thanks for the kind words. I'll pass them along to John. I know he'll appreciate it.
Yeah. He's probably having a pina colada right around this time. What time is it? 8 o'clock.
That sounds about right.
I don't think so. But anyway, Joe, thank you. Be safe, be well, and thanks for all you do for Central Hudson and what Central Hudson does for us.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right, man.
God bless you, brother.
All the best.
You too.
Thanks. All right. Well, I mean, that was electrifying, wasn't it?
Are we off?
But that's not yet, man. No, not yet. So, I mean, it's
electrifying. But it's good. I mean,
charge out of that, man. I got to charge.
As I was saying, hopefully, we go forward with the town hall.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Because, like you said, that people.
It's a great idea.
People get to ask their questions. They feel a lot better when they have somebody that's from the company that's serving them to, ask their heartfelt questions, and they get answers that, they say, okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, and just like last night, everybody's worried about the money aspect, but nobody's saying, well, we're paying more for the services that we're giving you. It's not that we're just Central Hudson. We want to raise your rates.
Right.
We're paying more. And
you know what I found interesting last night, and we'll go to break real quick, is the bathroom issue. I never really figured out that they're putting public restrooms up there.
Yeah.
That fella from Dietz Stadium Diner, nice guy, and he was saying, people try to come into my restaurant and use the bathroom. Well, you want to grab a hamburger, I'll be glad to let you use the restaurant. Restroom.
Yeah, it's like the squeegee commercial, right? For the electric.
So I didn't realize that there were public restrooms up there at one point in time.
Yes.
And those were taken down, and so. So you want tourists to walk around, you need to provide a place for them to relieve themselves. That was an interesting point I never kind of thought about. Everybody's worrying about closing Fair Street, and everybody's okay. Where do you go, man? For free, where do you go? I don't know. Got to think about that. All right, Lawrence, take us to break. We'll do a birthday or two.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
There was this one time I went snorkeling in the Caribbean when I was a kid. It really just blew my mind. We saw the most beautiful corals. I remember thinking they were waving at us as they moved with the ocean. And then there were all these amazing fish. I'll never forget it. It completely changed the way I look at the ocean.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Tony Marmo from Norman Staffing, and we've been bringing together employers and job seekers since 1980. If you're an employer and have job vacancies, let Norman Staffing help fill them with permanent or temporary workers. We screen, interview, and recommend the best candidates for your company. We make the employment process easier and faster for you. Please call Norman Staffing for your employment needs at 338-9111, 338-9111, or normanstaffing.com.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
All right, folks, we're back. This is Thunder Thursday, man. We're bringing the thunder today, Rev, aren't we?
Yeah, there you go.
We are, man. We are.
And the lightning.
As long as it's not a foot of snow.
Brandon Jacobs and who?
No, Thunder and Lightning were Ron Dane and Tiki Barber.
Oh yeah, there you go, man.
Yeah.
That's a long. That's probably over 20.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's
ago.
like back to that's like back in '99. That's
yeah.
Advent Giant fan.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, long time ago.
Well, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Whoa. But listen. But see,
Go ahead.
Since 1964, when the Cowboys got Bullet Bob Hayes, you know. That was my man. I wanted to be Bob Hayes. I wanted to run track like Bob Hayes.
I remember Bob Hayes, man. That guy was a.
So that's how, you know.
But then I remember the game, you know, in the what was it, Bart Starr and Meredith. I'm sorry, Tim.
No, it's good.
You know, just the, you know, that snow bowl that they had. It was like -6 or something in Green Bay. I mean, that's when I remember, you know, watching the Packers and the Cowboys, and the Giants kind of stunk back then. So
because that's how a lot of people don't understand. That's how zone coverage got because of Bob Hayes. You couldn't cover that guy.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's how the zone defense came into.
All right, we're joined by Tim Wiedemann, the director of Ulster County Economic Development. Welcome, Tim.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
It's great and you're looking dapper today, and folks are going to get a direct on view if they go on YouTube. They can see the guy all decked out, looking very dapper today, and got the beard going. He's got the winter beard, and looking good, man. Okay, we're going to do birthdays real quick, and you two are going to participate. So, Rev, why don't you start, Rev?
All right. Well, this Thursday, January 13th, we're pleased to wish happy birthday to Jonathan Torres from his family and his friends.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Jonathan?
Yeah, and also January 13th today, happy birthday to Beatrice Alford from her friends and all of our friends at People's Place. Hope they hope that you enjoy a special day, Beatrice.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you the winner of the delicious cow pie from Boy's Dairy Milk House at 62 on Neal Street. By the way, we had moon pies the other day. We didn't have a cow pie. We had those moon pies. Oh, those things are delicious, man. I'm telling you.
What's
you know,
a moon
from
pie?
Boyce's?
Pie. Well, it's like a big ice cream sandwich, only round.
That's what they call moon
pies.
Oh, got it.
I don't know what they call them.
That's what you call them.
You have to change the label.
There's 6 of them, man. They're delicious.
Yeah.
All right, so let me tell you who the winner of the delicious cow pie for January 13th today is. That would be Beatrice Alford. All right, man. Beatrice, enjoy your cow pie and give those nice folks over at Boyce a little jingle, and you'll get your cow pie, and maybe you buy some moon pies too while you're there. All right, so thank you, Tim, for joining us. And,
yeah, of course.
Wow, there is a lot going on, brother.
Never a quiet moment. You'd figure around the holidays things would quiet down, but they didn't this year, and so.
Is there a Tim Wiedemann twin? may need
I
a
heard
twin.
a Tony Marmo twin earlier today. So
no. The world can only stand one of me. So tell us, man. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's always tons going on. I think we're actually, we are taking a little bit of a kind of step back at the beginning of the year, reassess kind of what's up for this year. We have a new legislature that just got seated, so that's kind of our world in the county. Kind of figuring out what we're going to do this year and how we're going to kind of continue the work that we've done last year. So when I was on back in December, man, it's last year.
Seems like 6 months ago.
Seems like 6 months ago. We were talking about the Tech City sale, which is a big step forward there, but we're going to continue to be working on that, bring it back to life. The sale was a big step towards that, and so it's exciting to see that starting to move, but there's still lots of work to do there. So we're going to be focused on that.
Just the beginning, isn't it? Chapter 1.
It is. It took 25 years of failures really to get us here, and it's going to take some time to really get it back, but we're on the right track. So there's work there that we're going to undertake this year, and hopefully I'll be able to make future announcements and talk more about it as we get it going. But we're also working, we have a program. There were lots of programs from federal money to try to help businesses recover from the pandemic. And, people remember probably the PPP and, all these programs that were out there.
Paycheck protection program.
A lot of those have now wrapped up. And so it's unfortunate, the timing, because obviously a lot of businesses are struggling again. This is tough to think that we're in kind of our fourth or fifth wave and we're still struggling with this, and we still get calls from businesses that, have to figure out the new guidance and are struggling to find employees, and then employees get sick, and then what do they do? And it's just a tough world out there. We were talking to one restaurant in particular that had gone through so many iterations of an employee getting sick and folks in the venue getting exposed, and then they had to close. So that they knew that every week they had to close, they lost something like $10,000. And so there's a damage there that's continuing, and we're really focused on trying to support our local businesses, even in this kind of fourth wave where there isn't as much of the federal support. We're lucky to have some state programs that are still supporting our businesses, and we are in the midst of a local program that we call the Ulster County CARES Small Business Assistance Program that is trying to provide some financial assistance to our businesses. And so anybody who wants to learn more about that can go to our website, ulstercountyny.gov, and then click on economic development, and you'll find information about the program.
Okay, that's important. I mean, I know of one restaurant owner who is struggling, and the pandemic is continuing to hurt. The Omicron is, and they have fixed costs.
Yep.
And their business is not meeting their fixed costs right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of businesses are in that boat. So, I think we're just trying to encourage people to hang in there. I think that, the hope is, and I think we're all probably a little weary of all this, but we're hoping that this is the last big wave of the year and we get into the spring and things start to get back to normal. But we said that last year, and here we are. So I think we have to all kind of continue to do the right thing, mask up, get vaccinated, all that stuff. And we're excited. The executive announced, I think 3 days ago, that the state has chosen to put a testing center down at SUNY New Paltz. So we now have readily available testing capacity in county. I think it's 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday down at SUNY New Paltz. There's rapid testing that you can get. So folks that are having trouble finding a test or something can get down there and get a test. And then we're also distributing test kits to residents. I think there's 2 distributions this week, one at SUNY Ulster, and then another one, I can't remember where the other one is, at the fairgrounds. So fairgrounds on Thursday the 13th, and at SUNY Ulster and Stone Ridge on Friday the 14th. So you can go get test kits, rapid test kits. If you need one, can't find them anywhere else, you can get them from the county there.
We were mentioning earlier that our numbers seem to be going up here, but Dutchess County numbers have dropped.
Yep.
So that's kind of good news.
Yeah, we're. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I will not claim to be an expert, but I feel like the situation we're in has come so quickly. It was such a quick surge here that hopefully there's a quick fall off as we kind of get back to doing the right. I mean, the holidays were tough last year, and so we have to kind of make it through, knuckle through this next couple of weeks and do the right things, and hopefully we'll emerge out of this and be in a kind of steadier state for a while. So that's the hope.
Yeah, good. I think people are looking forward to that. Hopefully February things will calm down in that area, and we can get back to a little bit of Whatever normal.
I call it the new abnormal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It was never normal.
Yeah, it was never normal. The new abnormal. So another project I know that's starting to gain a little bit of traction, I think, and interest is the Winston Farm.
Yep.
So tell people about that.
So it's early in the process, and I know I've gotten some comments both for, against, concerned, supportive, and I think we need to remember that at this stage of the game, it's about hearing what the concepts are that are out there, recognizing that that as with any large development site, and that is one of our largest development sites in the county, it's an incredibly valuable spot right off the thruway. It's a great spot.
It's like 800 acres?
Yeah, it's like 850 acres, something like that.
That's where they had the Woodstock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
I remember I was working up there. And,
oh, yeah?
Yeah, we
Did you hang out or not?
No, not at Woodstock. I happened to be working in the Saugerties area for Bob Carey.
Yeah.
When me and my buddy came off the thruway, it looked like a bomb went off.
Yeah.
I was like,
what the heck?
Yeah, it was a mess,
I remember that.
Right.
But it's a huge site, and it's got lots of features. It's got farmland, it's got mountains and forest, and so I think the challenge is going to be, how do you envision a campus and a kind of cohesive whole on that site? It's a big site, and so the owners have put forward kind of a first pass at a vision, and I think it's addressing a few things that are really important. It's got housing, which is really, really important. It's got commercial and industrial space, which I think those out there that aren't in the economic development world might not appreciate the fact, and the fact is that we just don't have enough of that in Ulster County.
Right.
What are you trying to put out there again?
It's a lot of things. So housing, offices, warehouse, industrial space. They're even talking about hospitality, tourism stuff, a lodge, and an amusement park. So, I think the things that we got to recognize that there are going to be people who are going to have concerns about it. They're going to come forward with those concerns. This is the right time to have that dialogue, and I think the owners know that and are receptive.
And again, local developers.
Yeah, exactly.
These are folks from Ulster County
that have said, and I think it seems to me that it's best to take them at face value, and I think it's worth believing that they are doing this because they want to do something for their community. And so, I think we got to recognize that we're early in the process and provide feedback, and then support moving something forward there. It's an important site that needs to have, I think, a mix of uses on it, and they've done a good job, and maybe there's refining to do here, but I think it's this balancing act that we see all over the place of preserving the things that are important to our community, like open space and the farmland that's on the site, and at the same time creating housing, which we need so desperately, creating industrial commercial space that we need desperately. So, I think we'll see how it all plays out, but it's good that there's somebody local working on it, and that they're putting forward ideas, and, I think they're receptive to feedback and to refining it as they go forward.
The Rev and I were at, spoke last night. I'll say testified. He testified. I spoke.
Yeah, that's how that was.
Yeah.
He was fiery, man. He was fiery. And it got the crowd going, I got to say. Folks were all, absolutely. Yeah. Say it. But that project started, I thought someone mentioned 2017, the Kingstonian.
Oh, yeah.
Kingstonian we're talking about. Public hearing last night. So that's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We're talking about Winston Farm today.
Yeah.
22.
Yep.
So we're thinking,
Yeah, I mean, these
27.
are 5-year process, and sometimes that's hard to stomach if you're trying to take on a project that you've got 5 years before you can even really solidify a plan and know that you're going to move forward with something.
And then you got a couple of years build out.
Yep. Well, and it's also just tough.
He and I are going to be, having wheelchair races.
No, he is.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine what the world is going to look like in 5-7 years.
I know.
Yeah.
The thing, I mean, this is the issue, right? I mean, we talk about this almost every time I'm on, like the challenge of how do we move forward big, important projects that are complicated, that are expensive, that are controversial sometimes. And, I think the only way is to have an open discussion and dialogue, and to try to appreciate that everyone involved is human. They all have their needs, their failures, their challenges, but they are all trying to do, I think, trying to do the right thing. And if anybody's ever not trying to do the right thing, then that's a whole different story. So.
Yeah, then we have other...
And that's what we were discussing, that we got to come to the table with these issues. Everybody's trying to preserve this, but which is right, but we can't live in a bubble. We got to move forward because, like you said, the reality of housing is a big issue now.
In some ways, I feel like we could just talk only about housing and have so much to cover there. Like, we've spent 50 years or maybe more really doing all the wrong things with housing, building it in farmland out in the countryside, on large lots where, all we've done is create, challenges around infrastructure. We've kind of torn apart the social fabric of communities when people don't have neighbors anymore.
True.
There's a lot of challenges to the way that we've done it. And, we have to recognize that we got to do it differently. We got to build more of it. We've not had nearly enough. I think there was I'm going to stretch my memory here, 2009, there was a tri-county housing study that got done, 2009, so we're talking 12 years ago, 13 years ago, that identified that the county needed somewhere in excess of 6,000, I think, houses in order to meet demand. Wow. And then, I think only maybe 10% of that has been built since then. So we've just been so far behind for so long that we've got a lot of catching up to do if we're really going to address this problem.
And, and the reality of it is, with the COVID, that so many people made Ulster County their residence.
Totally.
Everybody running out of the city didn't want to. Yeah, it's just.
And I think we how did we not expect that on some level? I mean, obviously not at the level that the pandemic created, but
you saw a little bit in 9/11.
Yeah, exactly.
You saw some of that 9/11, some northern migration.
We've seen it in waves. Probably we probably all need to think back a long time. But these are waves that have happened before, and so we should expect that it'll happen again too. And so how do we do a better job preparing for the next time so that we don't have this same issue of I think I'm amateur historian here, not really. Actually, I know very little, but I think the history and settlement pattern of the Hudson Valley has always been waves of migration up from New York City. That's kind of how this place got settled. So we've been going through this since 1609.
Since the Great Immigration, it's been happening. Folks coming into Ellis Island and then just spraying all over the place, and he even went to Utica.
Right.
Well, Rochester.
Go figure.
Go figure. Go Rochester. But no, that's true. Tim, what do you think New York State has some obligation to streamline the system for approval process? I mean, if I'm a developer, seriously, man, I'm saying, can we not do this in 2 years instead of 5 years? Can you, isn't there some limitations we can put in so that have public hearings, have review processes, do what you need to do, but man, let's try to shrink the time frame a little bit.
Well, I think it would be nice to blame the state and put all the blame there, because then we don't have to actually do anything about it. But I think it's not the state. I think it's that we here in our local communities have to do a better job of having these discussions and recognize, that those decisions, those delays really come from a lack of forethought and communication ahead of time in the local community.
Right.
Like, that we don't talk enough about what do we want to see in our neighborhoods, what do we want to see in our community, and how do we take the steps up front to put zoning in place that allows and supports that, to put guide rails on what we do want and what we don't want, and to have that discussion in a way that includes enough people so that when a project actually comes forward, they're not surprised by what they see, because they've been engaged in deciding where their community wants to go, and that's hard work. I mean that's not easy to do, but I think that's the kind of thing we see. I think there's some signs of that, and one of them actually, I'm hopeful that as we see Tech City kind of reemerge, what's in place there is unique in a lot of ways. There's a pre-existing plan, basically, for what to do on that campus. It was developed, I think, also back in 2009, 2010, so maybe it's a little out of date, needs to be updated, but it basically is a roadmap of what can happen on that site, and it involved a lot of public input when it was developed, and so hopefully as that site comes back to life, if it follows that plan, it's already ahead of the curve. It's already got some of the approvals, and it's maybe boring, not exciting stuff. It's wonky a little bit, but this is the stuff that makes it quicker. This is the stuff that it makes it easier to get what we want in our communities.
And I think sometimes we forget, since we're older, that the younger generation don't want the horse and buggy anymore. That worked for you.
Yeah, that's true.
I like the BM, man.
No, I hear
this
you.
new generation, and we got, as responsible adults, we got to make way for them.
Totally.
If
That's
they're
totally
going to grow, and you want to keep them in the Hudson Valley, and to keep certain traditions, and biblically it says don't remove the ancient landmarks, which keep people grounded.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? You got to have them, them things that keep us grounded, but also got to make room for the new ideas, the new generation. It's not what we would do, but it's
growth. Part of growth.
Well, and this is where I'll just bring it back to why are we talking about this? And I'm in economic development. This is about economic development. This is, I think maybe people don't even ever think about what is economic development. I think about it a lot, and I think the traditional mindset is that it's attracting businesses to a community and it's supporting the businesses that are there. Well, if you just take that a few steps down the path, you realize that the challenge, and we see it acutely right now in the pandemic, businesses need people.
Right.
And so economic development is really about people and about making sure that the people who live here have the ability to participate in the economy, both as consumers, if that's the way to think about it, but also as participants in jobs. So how do they have the right training to participate in our local businesses, and how do we make sure that those businesses have the skills, talent, and people that they need? And that inevitably involves a change as generations change, and trying to make sure that we have young people here who can fill entry-level positions. We talk about that a lot, Tony, right? That's
do.
the challenge.
Yeah.
18 to 34-year-olds leave our community because they don't see an opportunity here. We have to change that.
So true. Yeah, and that's the only way that the Ulster County is going to grow, nourish, and sustain.
Yeah.
Because everything's changed. We're in the technological age.
Yep.
Listen, I see kids on the street. Kid, come here with this phone, because I done hit a button and thing went crazy. Come here, kid.
Help me. Somebody help me. I'm falling and I cannot.
There's no shame to my game, anywhere, airport, anywhere. Come here, kid. And that's the reality. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow, you know what I mean? Because we've been so traditionalized and, this is the way it's been. But the reality of here we are, and if we want to grow, and these different businesses that are on online or technological, you need these people there.
Yep.
Because we can't do it. I'm not.
So let me mention 3 projects, and I know we only have a few minutes, but this is kind of like, what could we have done differently? AVR, Williams Lake, Dean Gitter up in Bel Air, rest his soul. Did someone do a what do they call that? A postmortem?
Postmortem of these, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, where did those projects? And I know you can't do this in a few minutes, but it's the thought process behind where and how did they fail, and why did they fail, and were they not worthy projects to begin with, or what happened where they got off the rails? Williams Lake, I think, was
Williams
the first.
Lake it's not dead yet.
Oh, okay, good.
There's still progress there. They're making progress. I think just in the last few months they got approvals for some of the infrastructure that they needed, which took a long time. And I think that's the thing is
my beard was black back then.
Yeah, I mean, it's another example of, 5 years is really the minimum. I mean, these often take 10, 15, 20 years to, 10. And I think that's maybe the postmortem here is that big projects are complicated, and those are the ones that touch deeply on this kind of this challenge of balancing who we are and who we've been in the past and who we want to be in the future. And I mean, even personally, that's a difficult thing to think about it. And so as a community, we struggle with that a lot. And I think, again, the antidote to that, the solution to that, the lesson from that is we need to talk more about these things and what we want to see. AVR is one that just, gets me every time, because that is like such a perfect example of this, on one hand, scenic, Hudson riverfront that's unparalleled in the world, really. I mean, a treasured location.
Right.
And so preserving it, great idea.
Yeah.
But then, pre-approval for 1,600 housing units that we desperately need in our community, that's a great idea too. So how do you, I mean, we are now in a place where I think the latest I think is that will proceed to a state park, and that's exciting and great, but it's a loss to not have the ability to have that additional housing as well. And so I think, we got to recognize these are all going to involve trade-offs, and to maybe point out that I don't know that I think we got to redefine what is success and failure, because AVR may have failed to live up to what we hope to see in terms of its development, but there's a success there too in protecting an important environmental spot.
I get that, but back to your point. I mean, someone identified 6,000 housing needs, and we had a chance to take about 30% of that, and for whatever reason, it just got off the rails. But I'm encouraged by the fact that there's some thoughtful planning going on, not to disparage anyone in the past, but look, to me, it's encouraging that we're having this dialogue, we're having this public comments. But that's what I'm saying. There's got to be a shorter threshold of time that says, you know what, if we can't figure it out in 18 months, just can the project.
Right.
Don't have it go on for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. I mean, if I'm a developer, man, I'm just like chasing my tail around, and it's costing me a lot of money.
A lot of money to do that.
Just put a shutdown date. Say, you know what? If you can't figure it out in 18 months, have all the public hearings you want, have all the hybrid Zoom meetings you want, get all the community input you want. Draw a line in the sand and say, we're done. 2 years. I don't care. Make it 2 years.
Yeah.
Do something that's going to say, you know what? We got to either take action on this or drop it and move on to the next project.
Yeah.
But I think what Tim said is important, that you got to have these discussions.
Yeah,
and that's the most important thing.
It is. And I know, Tony, it's frustrating, and I can't imagine being a developer and taking all that risk on. It surprises me that anyone does, but thankfully they do.
They do. I know.
And I know. I think that itself is something that we have to appreciate and deserve some credit, that there are people, a lot of them are local folks in our community choosing to take that risk, and they don't usually get much credit for it. And so I think that's something we should think about
too. They get chastised for it, thinking, the rich are going to get richer.
Yeah.
And they don't care about the other folks. But that's not the case in many of these
projects.
Developers.
Yeah.
There's always concern about putting people to work, taking care of the community. We just talked about the Jordan family last night ad nauseum, and the Benuras that, they're making money, but they're also plowing a ton of it back into the community that need it.
And affording other people opportunities that necessarily wouldn't get them to come in, like you said, on the ground level.
Right.
I went in the Carpenters Union on the ground level.
Yeah.
But they offered blueprint and reading, laser thing, and I took all them. I made myself more marketable.
Yeah.
And that's the thing of it is, if you can get in the game.
Yeah.
It's like Jackie Robinson, just let me in the game, baby. I'll take care of the rest.
I'll take care of the rest.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. But Tim, you were mentioning, I think it's important in terms of, and we appreciate so much the fact that you come on and very candid, and it's it's really important for folks to hear this, but it demands repetition.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? Because we
have to learn this lesson, and I think some specific practical things. Right now, Kingston is going through a process to update its zoning code. If you are at all concerned about any of these things, you have to be involved in that process. You have to make your voice known, because you don't have, this may be a little too strongly worded, but I don't see it as responsible for people to start throwing hand grenades at projects later when they didn't involve themselves and inform themselves when the decisions were being made.
Right.
And so that's one of the problems, is we got to recognize that there's a chance now in Kingston specifically to be involved in this discussion. Now's the time to do it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for reminding me about that, because I knew about it, and one of the folks, we started a new group called Ulster Strong in Kingston, and pretty much a group of business folks, concerned business folks, that projects that need endorsing get endorsed, and we do our homework, and we're not endorsing every project that just rolls in, but these are projects, and the rezoning issue is on our radar, quite frankly. So our website is ulsterstrong.com, very simple.
That is good.
And it's a concerned group for smart growth and an appropriate growth, not anything, anywhere, anytime.
Right.
And I was on the zoning board of Kingston. I was on the community development board. So I, understand that, this is what you need. You got to discuss the issues, and sometimes they were heated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Inevitable.
But we have to, as a people group, sit down and talk about and deal with the reality of just the human side. We need housing. You need housing for people to live.
Yeah. That's one where I think, Tony, if there's a project that deserves just kind of like a look, if we can't get our act together in 18 months, it should just go forward. I mean, we need the housing, and if we keep, pulling the plug, we're going to just keep having the same.
We got to go to break. You're welcome to hang around a little bit, or if you got to, put that fancy suit to work.
Got to put it to work, baby.
Lawrence, take it away.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
January is National Blood Donor Month, and Dunkin' Donuts and the American Red Cross are teaming up to honor blood donors who make a difference. This is Donna Morrissey of the Red Cross. All those who come in to give blood in the month of January at a Red Cross blood drive will receive a $5 Dunkin' Donuts gift card. It's one way we can say thank you for being a hero to patients in need. Your help is needed now. Please call 1-800-RED-CROSS, visit redcrossblood.org, or download the Blood Donor app to find a blood drive near you. Thank you for making a difference.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas for Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat Restores are nonprofit home improvement stores and donation centers that sell new and gently used furniture, building materials, and appliances to the public at a fraction of the retail cost. The Ulster County Restore at 406 Route 28 in Kingston needs your donations. Call our hotline at 845-853-7499 to schedule your free pickup. And thanks.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure. One moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, wherever the mission takes us, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, my name is Jackie Levezzo. I'm from Lake Katrine, and I support Kingston Community Radio because it is an invaluable resource to the community and its residents.
This programming is brought to you by the Friends of Kevin Cahill. As a strong advocate of local broadcasting, Assemblymember Cahill urges you to support Kingston Community Radio with your time and donations. Your contributions keep KCR vital and on the air at FM 92.5, AM 920, and on the web at mykcr.org. Please join Assemblymember Cahill and send your gifts of $10, $25, or more to Kingston Community Radio, Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York 12402. Together, let's keep KCR alive.
Okay, folks, we're back. We're thunder and lightning.
Thunder and lightning. That was interesting, and I think he's very astute young man, full of energy, and and everything else. But yeah.
I mean, they're taking on some big challenges, but it feels like there's pent up demand for a lot of this stuff.
Yes,
like you said, we nothing's happened for quite some time, and now we have opportunity, and. We're not saying, hey, just put it up, just build it, don't forget, go through the steps.
Right, exactly.
Get the input from folks.
Exactly. You got to have input. You got to come to the. We can't be narrow-minded. I mean, all of us can get there because if we want to be true to ourselves, we all got our biases and whatever, and we don't want this and want. But it's not all about us. There's generations coming behind us, and generations are different, as we were saying. Absolutely. Generations are different. We're living in a technological age and everything.
Let's do this. Let's take some phone calls. Folks have some thoughts or opinions for us. We're happy to take a phone call, 331-9255. we're talking generally about economic development, but it could be societal too. If you get spiritual, we got the Rev here.
We don't want to hear about your bunions or anything like that.
Yeah.
Call us up if you got something. Great to talk about. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Give us a call, 331-9255. Express your opinions. This is community radio, and Lawrence is there ready to take your call. But again, we don't. As he's saying, if you have bunions, that's medical.
I have a physician I can refer you
that's
to.
Medical. That's medical Monday.
You might want to save that for Dr. Ed Alio or Dr. Stamper.
Yeah, this is community stuff, and we chatted earlier about our experience last night at the public hearing for the Kingstonian, and good cross section of the community showed up there, and folks expressed their general support for it. I mean, there was a couple folks that were on somebody's payroll that expressed negative, and I think they come from parts unknown, like WWF, like the old wrestling guys, Bruno Sammartino.
WWF's still around. It's now the WWE, I think, right?
Yeah.
I don't watch it anymore, but I mean, I think all of us did at one point in our lives, right? Maybe not Don.
You watch
I don't mean it because you're old.
No,
I'm just saying because
I wasn't a big wrestling buff.
That didn't come out till the 80s, like really, kind of, right?
Yeah, 80s, man.
That's when it really took off.
Bruno Sammartino.
But they used to have them here
at Bill Watts.
Yeah, they used to have they used to have them here at the Midtown Center.
My dad used to take me to
Brazil. That guy was like about 6'8".
Yeah, my dad used to take me to the
Andre the
Civic
Giant.
Center.
Remember, he was down here at the Midtown and stuff like that. But we got to be realistic. I think the winds of change are blowing. Mm-hmm. And you got change is inevitable. Look at the cavemen. They was in the caves. Now we ain't caves. Right, exactly. But the winds of change are coming out. People are always fearful of change. Change is inevitable.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
That's
look
what Sam Cooke said, man.
Yeah.
Sam Cooke. I love Sam Cooke. Yeah. The singer Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
The change is coming,
song.
and embrace it, and come to the table, express your concerns, express the negatives, the positives, or whatever. Societies have always grown because people were willing to come and express. And like I said, with these years of, the COVID and everybody in the house, everybody got cabin fever and all types of other fevers, stuff like that. It's time to come together as a community and start talking about these things, and put the safeguards in. Like you said, that's not going to throw the door open for every idea and everything that, people got whims because people got, it's ideas. Same way with me in the church, okay? Everybody got ideas. Now, I listen, but, we got to know where we're going and what is the reality of what we can do and what we can't do, and the same thing.
Where is your church again?
Barbarossa, 119 Barbarossa Lane, right down there from the SBCA.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Nice place,
Great. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's you're a congregation. There's certainly room for opinions and dialogue and discussion. But as a whole, right, you got to go in a direction together.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
as communities, we have to, and everything else. We got to go together as a people, and sometimes we got to look at the reality. Listen, we're the ones that polarize ourselves.
Yeah.
So let's get out of this polarization thing that we got going on, and then interact with one another and talk to one another. That's one of the things about like the pedestrian plaza I was talking about last night. That I've loved for my grandson, whenever 2 years, he's only going to be 8 years old. We can still walk up there and have a good time, and he can, meet crazy people like you. And,
absolutely. Have a little music.
On the sides to stay away from that. No, but that's the thing that people got to interact, getting back to, that's the thing that I always remember about Kingston, the interaction of different people groups, the interaction of community and school and, the church, all working together to make our society work.
Absolutely.
And, now everything is you got your group, I got my group, and we're going to do our little thing. And if we have to meet with you and that's not the way that, it was never intended to be, that we're a community. If we're going to be a community, there has to be common unity. And that's what community is all about, common unity. And that's what I always fight for. That's what I try to live for. That's why I instill in my children.
Yeah.
And,
That's the right approach. I mean, I think the pandemic has set us back with some of that stuff and maybe made these divides a little bit more because everyone kind of focusing on, appropriately, on their own situation, their own health and what's going on. And folks can't mix as freely as they used to do, So, hopefully, as we go into 22, this thing is going to calm down a little bit and allow folks to get back to some abnormalcy. The new abnormal.
Yeah. But I'm really encouraged about, this new year and things that are going to happen.
Yeah.
And I could just hear the excitement in people's voices about, change. It's inevitable.
You need optimism, man. You need to look forward to stuff in life, don't you?
Yes, always.
I mean, if you're not looking forward to something, I don't care what it is, a visit from somebody, a vacation, a new job that you might be starting. If we don't have a positive attitude about I'm looking forward to XYZ, whatever your XYZ is.
Right. I guess you got to.
Then I don't know, man. I mean, that's everyone. We all got to look forward to stuff.
Yeah, and like people, like you were saying, earlier about we're a country of immigrants, and people are looking for a better way, a better place, and you came here, they worked hard, and they developed. How many of your family are first-time college students because you're. Your families worked hard every day, got up, went through the grind, only for you to go to college, and then the generations behind. It's the same exact thing. I think we have lost that grit as far as the people that you got to push through. Everything. Everybody wants a handout now. I'm never, I'm about giving people a hand up. And that's the thing. And biblically, even Jesus, he lifted people up. It didn't matter where they were or what malfunction that they were going through. It's about hope, and I think that's what we got to get back to, putting hope in people.
Yeah,
right, and taking away all the excuses why you can't do, and then afford them that, and say, okay, now what's your excuse?
Right, blaming somebody else.
Right, for your stage in life.
Yeah, right.
You got to take responsibility for your own life.
Yeah,
I teach my kids that. I teach my church that. I teach people that I'm able to. I do jail ministry, Ulster County for 20 years. Same thing. The mistakes that we make in life don't define us unless we allow them to.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We're all going to make mistakes,
You can, absolutely.
And we've all made mistakes.
Absolutely.
Some people just not got caught for the mistakes they made. Okay?
That's true, man.
They made mistakes. So,
if you have an opinion about any of this, give us a call. 331. Give us a call. 331-9255. We'd love to hear from you. Lawrence is at the microphone, ready to take your call and express your opinion about whatever you want. This is community radio. We're thankful to our underwriters who help put this show on 5 days a week, 7 to 9, different topics every day, and we're thankful to the listeners who have supported us. We've done great this year on our Happy Christmas Fund and our
/KCR
fund.
Best year ever.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone that was involved with that.
We're doing good.
And now we don't have to do another fundraiser till November 3rd.
There you go. But we're going to start planning that pretty soon.
I'm actually already typing out the list. All ready to go. Actually, we got some calls, so let me screen them real quick.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Well, just chuck them on. Let's go. George Post.
This call doesn't need a screen. Go ahead, George.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hey, George.
The one thing we got to stop doing is having everybody keep saying not in my neighborhood.
Right.
Because I tell you what, if they keep turning jobs down and different businesses that want to come in, the only thing that's not going to be in the neighborhood in the backyards is their grandkids and kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because look what they did with that bottling plant that they wanted to put out by Tech City.
Yep.
That was a lot of jobs there, and now they're giving this guy here with a Kingstonian ration a bull because the guy from New York City, because you looked in the Freeman lately, full-page ads by this guy from New York City.
Yeah.
And they got to cut that process down.
Well,
They got to cut through all that red tape. Hey, say you got a year
right.
to do what you want to do, to have your meetings, have your different inspections or whatever they want to do. And hey, 5-10 years, that's a lifetime anymore.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Very true.
George, listen, we got to go. We thank you for your comments, your support, your involvement.
We actually got another caller.
Okay.
They actually started coming in, but George, it's not that we don't want to talk to you.
Oh, yeah, no,
but we know that you're going to call back tomorrow, so just call us tomorrow.
Another great show today, Tony and
Thanks.
stuff. And
thanks.
I'll keep
we'll be in touch.
listening.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right.
Harry, you there?
Yes, how are we doing, guys?
All right, morning, Harry.
Harry Waltman, how are you?
Great seeing you both last night.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks, Harry.
What's going on, Harry? What thoughts you got for us?
Well, I got to tell you, Reverend Mapes nailed it last night. He knocked it out of the ballpark. And the only thing I'm disappointed is he didn't do the mic drop.
Funny guy.
Yeah, they told you couldn't touch the mic.
Yeah, that's true. You weren't supposed to touch it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a project that definitely needs to happen. And I mean, Uptown Kingston used to be vibrant, and we need to bring that back, and we need to increase the tax base. So there's nothing but positives that I see.
Yeah. I think the folks that are against it now are just kind of like last desperation of, whatever, throw some legal mumbo jumbo out there, and it's to me, the Common Council has got to vote on one thing, and that's, I think, was said many times last night. It's the Fair Street extension, not the worthiness of the project, not the pilot, not all that stuff has been voted on ad nauseum. So
yes, exactly.
Let's get to it, man.
Well, gentlemen, I wish you both a great day,
thanks.
and we'll hopefully get together soon.
Thanks,
okay.
Harry.
Thank you.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you last night, Harry. Take care, man. We'll be in touch. So
we should have taken Harry's phone call first, and then we should have taken George second.
Why?
Well, they both called at the same time.
Okay. All right. That's okay. That's
all
good.
right.
That's good. We got them. We got them both in. Anyone
I
else?
haven't seen Harry. Actually, I haven't heard or saw Harry since the Happy Christmas Fund, so it's good to hear from him.
He's doing great. We saw him last night, got up there and supported. He's retired, but I think he's working.
Yeah.
So
that's what everybody does.
That doesn't speak well for the KPD pensions.
Yeah, I tried to get him in the studio this morning. He says, "No, I'm on the job." I said, "Okay, well, that's good. We appreciate that." So, but give us a call, 331-9255. You have something to share or thought about, where Kingston is going, economic development stuff, the community itself getting together.
Yeah, it's important. Like Tim said, you need to, a lot of people complain, but you need to be in the process. Mm-hmm. You need to be in the process of expressing, your feelings. There's nothing wrong with that. And then, if they're unfounded, they're unfounded, but just don't. Yeah. Just don't scream and holler about, something. People complain about the schooling system, but you never go to the school board meeting.
Show up at a school board
meeting.
Yeah,
exactly. You got to be proactive about, things that you want change in. Because sometimes they don't hear that.
Yeah, well, they don't. And I think what happens is the folks that are against it will show up, and the folks that are for it sit in their couch.
Right.
They're not getting involved. So all the elected officials here is, well, this is not good or that's not good. And so what do they have? They have only one side of the story.
True.
So I think one thing the Kingstonian did, in my opinion, is mobilize a whole bunch of folks that were not involved, me included. And now, someone calls, I'm for this project. I'm going to stand up and testify that I think this is good for the community.
And when are they going to vote on it again?
I'm not sure, Lawrence. I mean, I thought next Tuesday, but I could be wrong about that.
Can we get Joe? Can we get Brad Jordan and Joe Benura in here before that vote to push to help?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We can certainly reach out and try.
Because certainly Radio Kingston's not doing anything to support them. So maybe we should do something.
No, absolutely. So we'll certainly put the offer out there.
Maybe call Frank Campagna and see what we can do.
Yeah. We can figure something
out. Brad Jordan has been. He's one of the reasons why we're still on the air here.
Yeah.
I mean, every time we ask him for money, or we ask Herzog's or Kingston Plaza, they're the first ones to send a check.
And how many people last night, Rev, said that?
Yes. I mean, Brad is
zillions.
He likes to. He's a very guy of integrity. That's one thing I could say about him. A guy of integrity. He stays behind the scenes, but he does a lot. He does a lot.
Absolutely.
And there's been so many people that, if they could have been here, the Tate Fishers and the rest of them could have, attest to, the Jordan family, the Hands. And
it's generational, it's generational with
Yes.
that family. This has not just happened over the last 5-10 years. Paul Jordan, same thing, very, very community-minded guy, a lifelong Rotarian, and, serving the community. I mean, that's what the kids picked that up.
And the jobs, too. Look how many, not just he's given, but how many jobs he's given to,
Multiplier,
people.
man. It's a
There are
multiplier.
generations of people that have worked on the Herzog's brothers. And,
Absolutely.
My son DJ, he was down there for a little, but,
So
he got Palmolive hands, so he don't like that. Trying to get him work.
Calluses.
He's not trying to get him work with me a couple of times. Dad, this ain't for me.
Hey, too cold out. Yeah. So, but no, look, it's. I think some positives are going to come out of this. Hopefully, the Common Council will vote in the affirmative. They heard all the testimony last night. Give them credit for all of them being there. There's some new Common Council folks.
Yes, and see, that's the new thing. There's a younger generation of the Common Council, and they're young.
Yeah.
Naima Muhammad, she's young. I knew her when she was a baby at Riverview Baptist Church, and they have to have something for their generation.
Right.
To vote on and to do what they got to do and to bring, this city into the next phase of their generation, what it's going to look like. We can't be the ones that, keep our foot on the brakes, so to speak, as far as, because things are going to change. Whether you like it or not, things are going to change. So come on, let's, look at the change. Like I said, whatever your opinions are, whatever you're resisting or whatever, bring it to the forefront. I just want to see things just explode. That's me. I just want to see things explode. Look to the future.
Well, explode in a good way.
Yes.
So I want you all to look up a song called "A Change Is Gonna Come" by Sam Cooke.
Change is gonna come. Yeah.
That is a great song. That song was back in the '60s. And I have to say, speaking about the '60s, I just watched.
That was the year you graduated high school?
No. 72, but that's close.
Oh, that was the year I was born.
I know.
Damn.
I know. So I was listening to, I was watching rather, I think it was on not on Showtime, about the history of Motown and Hitsville, it's called. History of Motown. That was so good. I'm not kidding you. That and listening to all those groups, primarily all black groups, but the music was unbelievable. The stories, the background, Barry Gordy, Stevie Wonder.
Is it like doo-wop or is it?
No. It started in gospel /
Sam Cooke.
Jazz. Sam Cooke is amazing. That guy, amazing guy. So a change is going to come.
Maybe we'll lead your next show off with the instrumental from that show.
I would love
I'm going to look
man.
for the CD.
I would love
It's
to.
probably somewhere in the WGHQ archives. I'll have to dig it up.
Yeah, we haven't done that ever.
Right next to the Casey Kasem
Intro
Top
the
40.
song, man. Can we do that, Lawrence? Can we intro a song occasionally?
I mean, we do have we are a radio station. We do have the equipment for that.
You're
yes.
a DJ. You've been doing
we're very sophisticated here at KCR. We're, when we built this new studio, we weren't messing around.
Yeah, next time we have the Rev on, we're gonna, we got to figure out, your next assignment, Val Dwyer, and what's happening there. But you're always a part of this family, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to live in a community, you got to be community minded. Right. You got to be community minded. You got to be where things are happening and put input and have bring other people to the table. As a pastor, I can't do it all. So you get people, you delegate. And you don't micromanage. You give them the parameters of what it's supposed to be and allow them to grow into what their giftings are, their callings, or whatever it's going to be. And it's the same way in a society. You just got to get people, and let them do what they're going to do. It might not look like the way you're going to do it, or it might not be the way that you planned it out, but it's going to get done.
Yeah.
And I see that happening, Yeah,
like you feel that movement coming, right?
And that's what it's all about. And everybody has a successor. Biblically, everybody has. Moses had Joshua. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Elijah had Elisha, and Paul had Timothy, and so on and so forth. But we have to groom these people, bring them up, and then let them have their natural talent. As a football coach, I remember I always used to tell these young kids, because they was 8 to 13, I said, if you don't know the basics, I don't care what
Blocking
you do.
and tackling,
I said,
man.
when you get
That's the
15,
song.
16, your natural talents is going to take over. When you leave me, I just want to make sure that you understand the basics of how this game is played, no matter what side of the ball that you are on.
Build a
that
foundation,
you're going
man.
to be able to do whatever it takes to be successful. And I think that's what we have to do in life. Give people the foundations and give them, the free rein to make mistakes and do whatever they got to do, but also have the compassion to say, okay, you know what you did wrong? Now get back up.
Yeah.
And let's do it again. And that's what it is. We're in that.
And those are life lessons, man.
Yes.
Football.
Yes, it is.
What is life lessons?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we can't forget that because somebody taught us.
We need to get this guy speaking in the Giants locker room. I tell you, man, it might make a big difference.
Can I only if I can wear my cowboy uniform?
I forgot about that. I forgot about that most important part.
Guy Greco, you and Guy Greco are cowboy fans.
Yeah, but me and Guy Greco.
Let's make sure we don't have them co-hosting.
Me and Guy
at the same
Greco
time,
went
though.
to Catholic school together.
You did?
Yeah, man. Somebody in my friend. That's why, like I said, I love this city. I love Kingston, man. I got so many, lifetime friends.
Look, you're a blessing to us. You're a blessing.
Well, I try to be. You know what I mean? Because I try to be. That's what I was taught as a kid.
Blessing us. So we will all walk the earth together, man. I mean,
Yes.
Some of us think we're walking different paths, but we're really on the same path, aren't
Yeah.
we? At the
Yes,
end
we
of the day.
are.
So everybody keep doing the right thing out there and help folks that need some help. And like
Right.
the Rev says, hand up, not a handout.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
exactly. Because people don't learn.
Right.
If you keep handing out.
Exactly.
You just
They
say,
don't. They don't. And I like to say, go do a random act of kindness for somebody. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel good. It can be as simple as buying a person in back here at Stewart's a cup of coffee.
Anything.
So
Anything.
You're not buying $70 worth of gas. You're okay.
Headed up to that level. I'm headed that way.
Yeah, but that's good.
Yeah,
so, Lawrence, thank you. Good show today. And, a lot of good things going on, a lot of positiveness. Catch the feeling of being positive, man.
Yes. Yes. It's so easy to be negative.
Yeah.
It's so easy to be negative, but, get on that stream. Do your little part.
Yeah.
If everybody starts doing their little part, everybody's busy, you got family, you can all make some excuses for stuff, but just do something,
I read something.
It'll make you feel better, too.
It'll make you feel better, and look, because you can feel negative, you can dwell in negativity, or you can create a culture of caring. Go out and create a culture of caring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's in economic development. That all comes to after that. If we're caring about each other and feeling pretty good about what's going on, I understand that there's issues and problems and negativity and bad things happening. I get that, but you know what? We got to fight against it.
Yeah, but there's more, I'm always a firm believer there's more good than there is bad.
Absolutely.
There's more good people than there are bad people.
Yeah. But there's sideliners, too. We got to get folks off the
That's
sidelines.
right. Get off the bench. Coach
Be
says.
an upstander, not a bystander.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Yeah.
That's right. All right, Lawrence, thank you very much. Everybody have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Be well.
Everybody take care. We'll be back tomorrow with Dan and Fran. Have a good day.